Sup guys, welcome to the second part in the XSS part of the tutorial. And the last part I just quickly mentioned about error messages, like for example in the validation in the PHP there may be vulnerabilities and so on. One easy thing to forget to validate is the error pages, like for example the 404 message, which is the message for when a page can't be found. For example, if I try to go to a gibberish file that doesn't exist, I'll get to the error message like this. It says not found, and as you can see here, I have the same principle that the PHP outputs whatever I inputs, but this time in the URL. So it's not just with the forms on the page, but also with the URLs. So, and one thing I feel that I must mention here is that in PHP, in Apache for example, in the standard web error page, this is not the case because they're checking whether I input code here or not. But in many frameworks like, I don't know, WordPress maybe, and other frameworks as well, you get like a boilerplate for making your own 404 messages. So this results in many web pages having the lack of security on their error pages, mainly the 404s. And this results in that I can do the same principle, that I can insert a script tag here, JavaScript for example, like this, and then I can output some data. Let's use an alert like this. So as you can see, the output is the same error message here. Here is the JavaScript inserted. So and I can do this with CSS also if I like. But the problem with this, or the concept about this error page thingy, is that this information is not saved onto the web page. So I cannot use it in the same way that I could, for example, with the forum here, the guestbook approach, that it's automatically saved to the web page. But however, I can use it in a different way. And for example, let's say that this was Facebook or some kind of social community. I could make a link that looks something like this, with a script tag, where I design the same principle that I post. In here I grab the session, the cookie for the user, and then I post it to an API that I set up myself so I can save their cookie data. And from that cookie data I can manually build a cookie myself. There are Firefox add-ons and Chrome add-ons for that, so you could just manually build them yourself, and then I could go to Facebook, hit refresh, and automatically the username and the password would be filled in, and then I would just press login. So so that's how I can use the session cookie. So and this results in that I could send you this link to a bogus file that doesn't exist, and then afterwards I say, oh sorry, I linked the wrong image, and then I get you the correct link to something else. But then that time I would already have a session cookie anyway. So but as you can see, the thing with this problem is that it's quite obvious that this is not a normal URL. So there are ways to get it a bit more, I mean, not so obvious, because you can see the script tags here. So what you can do is that you can take the letters and turn them into hex representations instead. They're with the ASCII characters, and there are encoders online which you can use. So you just take this part here, copy it into this here, then you encode it, and then you get your scripts right here from this. But it's not quite fully out encoded. As you can see, we still have the script word, we have my message here, and so on. But so you can use, instead of using the URL encoders online, you can make your own encoder in that encodes everything to ASCII characters. So and there are encryptors online which does this. So you can make ASCII to hex, for example, and then you would take this, and then you have to, in between all of this, you have to insert the URL encoding for space, which is %20, and then you end up with the URL that it's entirely not saying anything at all. So and just to ensure that this method also works, I've prepared a URL here, so you can just paste it in like this. I mean, it's not totally obvious that it's JavaScript. So and then if I run it, I get my alert like this. So it's the same principle with the cross-site server scripting, but it can be used in a different way than the other examples. That's why I brought it up. So thank you guys for watching, and hope to see you in the next tutorial.